What's up, guys? So today we're going to be talking about the Symbiotes, in particular how they perform in Arena, especially against the Black Order. So to talk about how we got on this topic, it all started with a screenshot that was sent to me by Mara Jade. So shout out to Mara Jade from the Alliance Alpha Kenny Body. I would say the Alliance name a little bit quicker, but I don't want my video to get demonetized, so figure that one out for yourselves. But this was a screenshot that was sent to me, and it shows a punch down. It's about a 40k punch down. Symbiotes in a Black Order in war. And while it's not a particularly large punch down, it's still a punch down. And so I generally just kind of disregard any punch downs that are sent to me in war, because all sorts of teams that can't actually go toe to toe with other teams can punch down for various amounts. So it doesn't really matter. And it's kind of a waste. You don't really want to be using a bigger team to attack a smaller team in war. It's just not a good strategy, especially with room bonuses and stuff. So normally I disregard it, but this one was pretty close, and it was the Black Order, and there just aren't a lot of teams that can take on the Black Order. And then what really piqued my interest was which bonuses were in effect. This was done with all the symbiotes spawning with defense down, and the Black Order all spawning with defense up. So that got me thinking it's probably possible to do a punch across based on what I'm seeing here. So the first thing to do was to test it. Alright, so this was literally my first time playing through this matchup, so I should also make sure to mention I may not be playing it properly. Although this is balanced draft, the reason we had him on the right side was so that he can put it in auto and it'll play just like the AI would in an arena match or something. So I was worried about the offense down Carnage ult into the defense up Cull, but we were able to get one bleed, which is something. It's not a strong bleed, but you see Symbiote Spider-Man failed to get the defense down the first time, but he got it on the rebound attack, which is really good. And then I go ahead and use the special on Scream, so now there's also an offense down on Cull. This means that Anti-Venom can ult and now give the entire team 2-turn defense up and offense up, in addition to all the regens. So that was really handy to be able to give everyone offense up. It really allows this team to start doing crazy damage. So you just saw the Venom special, and that dropped Cull below 30%, and the ability block stopped him from using his own taunt to clear those debuffs, so that was big. So now that the symbiotes get to go even earlier, because of dropping him low enough, that kind of starts the snowball. And thanks to the offense up, getting dispels like you just saw, like breaking that taunt and doing really good damage to Proxima, it's a lot easier. So even though this is the first time I was attempting this, we actually got really unlucky with Anti-Venom being the one to get Proxima stunned. No one was taunting, so Proxima could have hit anyone on the field, and if she'd hit anyone else, there's a very good chance that it would have gotten removed on Anti-Venom's turn, because he removes negative effects from the symbiotes. But instead he got stunned, and because he's stunned, he's not able to revive Scream, so we're in a 4v4. But what I found out after, as you'll see later in the video, is this is actually what it looks like when it doesn't go great. It's pretty sloppy. We had decent luck with Cull, but again, Proxima, just a 1 in 5 chance, and 20% she goes for Anti-Venom. Pretty unlucky, but even so, and you can see people are kind of low, so it was definitely messy. But as soon as someone gets dropped below that 30%, even though Symbiote Spider-Man went down, that gives speed and healing, and then you get the revive from Anti-Venom, so then they're back to 4 people on the field, and then obviously Ebony Maw goes down, so that's even more speed and more healing from the Scream passive, and I don't think you need me to tell you where it's going to go from here. Decide to do a ton of damage to Thanos right there. That dropped him below 30%, gives even more speed. And yeah, so they end up winning in a pretty convincing 4 people alive and pretty much everyone at full health. And again, that was with unfortunate RNG. So having played through that, I felt pretty confident that they would be able to manage at least a punch across in Arena. And I remember at the time thinking, oh, Proxima could have stunned anyone. She stunned Anti-Venom. I bet this would have gone pretty differently if she stunned someone else. So I thought, you know what, screw it. I have a pretty strong symbiote team. I am the people's whale after all. What's the point of whaling out if you're not going to test stuff for the people? That is literally the whole point. So I figured, let me jump straight into arena and try to find some punch-ups. Now, I am rocking a 533,000 power symbiote team, so there aren't too many options for me to punch up on. I was able to find a couple. So this one in particular, we are punching up. It's a small punch up, about 20k, punching up on a 549k black order. Well, see for yourself. Alright, so we're loaded in, and this is also my first attempt at doing this with ISO 8 in the picture. I'm not entirely sure, at least going into the match, how it's going to impact the results, but so I am fortunate enough to get 2 bleeds on Cull Obsidian, but again, those bleeds aren't doing much because the offense down. And again, I'm lucky enough to get the defense down on the second attempt with the rebound chain, and then I do get the offense down. Once you have that defense down, the offense down from the Scream special is pretty reliable. And that again allows me to spread the defense up and the offense up to everyone. However, I do have to play this one a little bit differently because the short version is you need that speed from Carnage, from dropping someone below 30%. And this time, the Venom special did not drop Cull low enough. So even though I know I'm not going to get the kill with the Carnage special, I have to use it because it provides the speed. And because we ability blocked Cull, he's not able to be taunting. So I'm able to use the Scream ultimate and rewind all 3 of the people on the left side of the field. So Scream does go down, but that allowed Anti-Venom to go early enough to use his special, which brings Scream back. And now you'll see my team has a bunch of immunities, and it's a really good time to have those immunities because Ebony Maw is going to ult, and we want to avoid too many people getting slowed, basically. So I didn't actually realize during my initial playthrough how many of them had the immunities wear off, but at least having the immunities on 2 of them was pretty fortunate. So yeah, at least 2 of them were able to avoid these slows from the Ebony ult, which is pretty nasty. But it is a bit of a shaky matchup. You know, you can see just from this footage here, like Corvus will always go after the person with the lowest health, and that evade is really useful. And what happens sometimes, I don't know if you'll see it in the footage that I have here, but if someone drops Anti-Venom below 50%, he gets that evade, and then if that happens before he ults, he will share that evade with everyone. So giving the entire team an evade is pretty nice. But yeah, you can see here, they were taking some pretty heavy fire. They were certainly against the ropes, and now that they don't have Carnage, they're not going to get the big Carnage speed up and the Carnage heal. So they will still get some healing and some speed up from Scream when they get kills, but not having Carnage definitely made this tricky. So you can see for punching up, there's not a lot of room for punch-ups. Now, when this match is over, I'll give you the breakdown for my interpretation of what kind of punch-ups you can manage and what has to go right and what you want to stay away from. But I was just surprised that they could pull off this win at all. We just kind of assumed that the Symbiotes would not be able to handle Black Order, even at even power. We just assumed that they weren't going to stand a chance. So while it's not the cleanest win, and while they certainly don't hard counter these guys, as you can see from this footage, this is an arena punch-up, Symbiotes in a Black Order. So if you're a player that does not have the Black Order, but you can get majority or all of the Symbiotes, I think it is a safe assumption to say you can go all in on them, because in addition to being the top raid team, you can see right here, they can take on the Black Order in a 1v1 and even do small punch-ups against them, so it's pretty impressive. Alright, so I have one more bit of footage to show you, and I'll leave that one playing in the background, but just to basically sum up what we've found, it looks like the Symbiotes can indeed punch across on the Black Order. Very small punch-ups are possible, but they're not recommended. In our experience with testing it just now, the Symbiotes are winning a punch across about 75% of the time, somewhere in there. So they're not a shoo-in, and they definitely should not be your go-to Black Order counter. But if you have a giant Symbiote team, you can definitely reliably punch down on Black Order without much trouble. And again, if you have no other options, you certainly can pull off small punch-ups, but they're still not, you know, the recommended top arena team, but they perform much better than I expected in arena, and I was thinking that they would do pretty good. So I definitely wanted to put out this video and share that with you guys. And obviously, that's also true of war. If you're running into black orders that you can't clear in war, if you guys have giant symbiote teams, you absolutely can use those to take out the black order. Even if your guys have defense down and the enemies have defense up, it looks like it's still possible. So I wanted to put this out there. And yeah, that's what we found. So I'm not recommending them as the new top arena team in the game, but the fact that they can go toe-to-toe with the Black Order and walk away with a win, all things being equal, is not something that very many teams are capable of. So yeah, I was quite impressed, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So yeah, as I said, I'll leave this footage running, and hopefully you guys can glean some good information from it. But otherwise, I'm gonna shut up now. So thank you very much for checking out this video, and I will see you guys real soon.